we got lucky today, right, with much needed moisture as we continue to try to understand. There's a new word. We heard snow drought a lot.
That's right, snow drought, and we know we need the water. And we have Jon Meyer from the Utah Climate Center joining us live to break down what this means. We checked in with you a few minutes ago, and you've been smiling the whole time. This big snowstorm is a big deal for water for us.
Yeah, I think unless you're stuck in traffic or one of your reporters out storm chasing today, I think the general attitude is jubilation. We see the lift cameras out there, and boy, you can see just some of the relief that folks are seeing crossing their minds as they're getting up and enjoying some of what we love here in the state, which is the white stuff.
Well, what is a snow drought?
So snow drought is sort of this new concept that we're seeing playing out more and more across the West, which is we might have an okay precipitation condition, but it's not arriving in the form of snow, and so we just don't have a lot of water in the snowpack. And when we look at the state's precipitation for the water year, we're actually right on track for a normal amount of water that has been delivered since the start of the water year. But from a snowpack point of view, obviously major deficits across all of Utah's mountains, and that's the idea of snow drought.
Okay, back in October we had 5 inches of rain. How much did that help us to maybe get through the snow drought?
Well, we're certainly living grandly off of that first week or two of storms in the beginning of the October season as we ticked into the new water year. So that has certainly helped keep us afloat. However, we've seen quite a bit of rain events through the entire winter season. December, January, February have all had a lot of our winter storm activity arriving warm enough that our low and mid elevations experienced rainfall instead of snowfall. And so that really helps explain the discrepancy between where our precipitation stands and where our snow water stands.
Well, why is it so important that it comes in snow instead of rain? It's all water.
Well, a gallon of January rain is not as usable as a gallon of January snow water that melts much later in the season. It's available later in the year when we're entering in the drier portion of our annual cycle of precipitation. We want that water to refill our reservoirs right before we're using it, so it's the most efficient form of our water delivery. And so our water infrastructure, the way that we have developed a relationship with our water here in the West and Utah, is very much built around the idea of accumulating snowpack through the winter, melting that during the spring, and recharging our reservoirs and our river systems through the spring and early summer months.
So is it a little too late for us to really turn things around? We know that we can get a lot of snow in February, March, and even into April is a wet month. But what do you think when we have this type of early winter lack of snowfall, can we turn it around?
Certainly being behind schedule halfway through the winter season is not unheard of for Utah. Obviously, we've been in record low conditions recently, although I'm happy to report that as of this morning, yesterday's precipitation now means that we're at the second lowest conditions for this time of year. But we do have about a month, maybe 6 weeks left of our traditional snow accumulation season. We've got about 44 days left until the state sees the time of year where we're at our average peak. So we do have some runway left for these wetter stretches of the winter season when we can get these really juicy winter storms. However, we're in such a deficit right now that we're just kind of hoping to rebound. The expectation of us getting closer to normal for most of the state's basins really doesn't exist. Now we are just, at this point, finding loose change in the couch cushions to try and afford some of the incoming water demand that we're looking at this year.
And so even with a few storms lined up, we're still going to need to conserve water for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, Jon, thanks so much.
We are certainly excited to see this stuff falling.
That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll take it when we can. Hey, Jon, thanks so much. Great having you with us today and putting a little knowledge behind what we're experiencing now.
Why we're so happy to have the snow.
Okay, remember you can watch ARC Salt Lake anytime on your phone, tablet, or TV. Check out highlights from all of our newscasts on the ARC Salt Lake YouTube page at the QR code that you see on the screen right there.